Okay, here we go. This is day 41. It's May 27th, 2007, and had a weigh-in this morning. 272. All in all, not bad. It was a 10-pound drop from the last weigh-in 2 weeks ago. Had a huge plateau. I weigh in every morning. I go public with a weigh-in every 2 weeks. But every morning I check my weight, and I plateaued hard on 282, probably for about a week or so. So kind of had a little frustration there, sticking to the diet, doing everything that I'm doing, and it's not coming off. Probably will have a couple more of those before this process is finished. It had some drama. Our friends, we love them, and we try to love them when they give us grief. So I've had some issues to deal with there. The big issue for the last 2 weeks has kind of been that I've been teetering on a relapse. I think that so far the last 2 weeks have been the hardest because my body is finally starting to realize, and my psyche is also starting to realize, that I'm getting away from the old image. I found that there are a lot of triggers that make me want to go back to that idea of being big, that make me want to put the weight on. There was a point in time about a week ago where I was just about to go into the closet and start to pull a couple items of clothing aside so I can hide them, and that way when I put weight on, I'll accidentally find this nice little stash of size 50 and 3XL clothes hidden away. Didn't do it, but it was hard. This has been an exercise in kind of getting to know who I am, and that's hard for me right now because I'm undergoing a huge image makeover. I mentioned in the last posting that I had just gotten out of card gaming. I took 8 5-channel boxes. We're talking 5,000 cards per box, 8 of them 40,000 cards, Magic the Gathering, Versus, World of Warcraft, Universal Fighting System, plus the binders that they were all in. Took them all down to a store and sold them, got out of it. And a lot of my image has been this gamer. That's kind of how I've always envisioned myself. I used to plan my calendar around Magic the Gathering product releases. New block comes out in October, the first expansion comes out in February, the second expansion comes out in May. Over the summer is when the new Type 2 rotation comes out. So I've kind of been struggling with this idea. I've gotten rid of a lot of my old hobbies, and those hobbies kind of identified who I was. So without them, I'm kind of going into new territory in life because I'm trying to craft this image, this identity, but I'm not trying to use things. That's always been my big weakness. I've used objects to define who I am. I'm the person with the comic collection. I'm the person who plays the cards. And when you take those things away, you're left with that question, who's that person? I've never dealt with that before. I've never had to really sit down and take this hard look in the mirror because I've had all of these blocking mechanisms, these things that I can hold up and say, here, this is what I am. So, 35 years old, I'm kind of starting to get this feel for who I am. And I've never done that before, and that's kind of awkward, especially when I have all of these old demons tugging me back, trying to get me to relapse, trying to get back up to 325, 350 pounds. That's been the struggle, and unfortunately I think it's going to continue to be a struggle for a good period of time. No change is ever instant. Change is always a gradual thing, especially when you're dealing with identity politics. Unfortunately, I'm not Madonna. I can't just decide at the drop of a hat, here's going to be my image for the next year or the next album or the next tour. I've been in this, I guess, suit of clothes, if you will, for so long. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to do now that I'm changing them. And like I said, I've had the temptation of old habits kind of hindering that process. So with that having been said, still haven't joined a gym. I'm going to get to that now that we're at the end of a month. I'm just an eternal tightwad. I couldn't see paying a full month of gym membership halfway through a month. I'm just too much of a miser to get away with something like that. So June 1st is coming up this month. I'll probably go into Planet Fitness, get my membership started, start working out 3 to 4 times a week, and hopefully that will get me through the next plateau. I'm coming up on a milestone here. Most of you who are seeing this on YouTube came into this diet about halfway through when I was, I believe, 322 pounds. This actually started back in September. Back in September I was 365 pounds. And it occurred to me this morning when I saw that 272, I'm only 7 pounds away from having lost 100 on this. And that's a huge, huge milestone. To see, to think, 100 pounds, 3 digits. I've kind of been lost in some self-reflection, so probably at some point in time this week I want to go back and do a little documentation on where I've been, what got me there. It's kind of like troubleshooting or case analysis, saying, what got me to where I am and how do I avoid getting there again in the future. So I'll probably have a couple entries going up this week, but other than that, I can only see something going up, if something catastrophic happens. So with that having been said, I think the next weigh-in is probably June 10th, and we'll see where we go with that.